Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is I, your august host, Roman, and it is Whennrome of the podcast. Welcome back, my legionnaires. Well, ladies and gentlefolks, we are here at another episode. I hope you enjoyed the Emigrating to America panel as much as we did. I thought it was really interesting to hearing Europeans' thoughts on Americans. Like, who would have thought the red solo cups, right, Cameron? Like, my God.
Yeah. This is probably it's up there in my favorite panels.
No, really?
I've done. Yeah. It was
That's good.
yeah,
It was really
enlightening.
fun.
Yeah.
But Natalie Ray came, she was like, "Oh my God, I sound so good. I sound like a top." And I was like, "Girl, there is not enough editing in the world to make you sound like a top." But catch that. Tonight we are actually dropping our second visual interview with the amazing Baby Shaques Munro. You guys might remember her as Brandon on the Gay Gaymer episode. We brought her back to talk about her drag career and about all the money she's raised through fundraising. It was really interesting to talk from a drag queen who's coming from a different kind of like background, you know what I mean? Than just like performing at the clubs or blah, 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 blah. What do you think, Cameron?
Yeah. I really enjoyed the interview. I learned a lot about her. But she's very charismatic.
Yeah.
You know,
it was really funny.
It was really fun
really fun.
To record that.
So yeah, you guys are gonna and it's our second visual episode. It was really fun to do another one to like learn from the first time, to put some things, and it was just fun to do it. So we're really excited to drop that. So stay tuned after the news recap for that. And the YouTube link will be in the show notes. Next week we'll be dropping our latest panel. This one on being gay in corporate America. It was like me and three of my friends, including Cameron, and we talked about like what it's like to be gay. Like we talked about everything from like code switching to like how much of your life you can share at work to like little things like like if you're in corporate America, what it's like to like try to when you're maybe prioritize less because you don't have children or blah 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 blah. So it was just like it was cool to kind of like talk about those things. So stay tuned for that next week. And with that, we are ready. Let's get thank you again for listening in. Remember to listen, like, share, and laugh. My IG is WHENNROME. And with that, let's get your mood enhancer, please. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Enhance yourself, please. Let's get into it. Happening since we last saw each other. Okay, it was a cool week. Not a lot happened. Let me see. I went to go see Wicked for the first time. And then even though all my friends have seen it multiple times, it was my first time and I enjoyed it. I can see what all the fuss is about. I definitely think that that they were able to like expound and expand the world in ways that were important that they couldn't do in the play. Do you know what I mean? So I appreciated that. How they were able to flesh out the story. I will say that what's funny to me is that like in the play, for me, the voices of the headmistress or the sorceress, that was teaching Alphaba, her, and then the wizard, the voices were like the best some of the best in the play. So in the movie, they gave it to like Jeff Goldblum and the Asian lady from Everything Ever Once, and they like very sing-songy, you know what I mean? It was clearly given to them for who they were, and it was just different because in the play, their voices are like literally better than ever. You know what I mean? Like and so it was just kind of a funny dichotomy. But yeah, I was really happy to like see it. Yay, I'm a gay. But I do have some funny stories on the way about the movie theater. So on the way to the movie theater, there was like a Jesus priest, like like the people who were like preaching on the street or whatever. He was a young Asian kid. And I'm walking by and he's like, "Stop living that Taylor Swift lifestyle."
Okay.
Yes, girl. He was like, "I too used to be gay, and that way down that road leads to hell." He was like, "I could keep you from the Taylor Swift lifestyle." When I tell you I died, I have never heard that from a Jesus. Did
you have posters and stuff?
I mean, it was like him and like 4 other Asians talking about, I believe they tried to give me a flyer. I was like, "No, girl." They're like, "Oh my God, I'll pray for you." I was like, "Thank you." But it was just so funny. I wanted to give him $1. Like, you don't have my soul, but you were funny. You know what I mean? Like normally they just say some dumb shit. Lifestyle. Yeah, stop living the Taylor Swift lifestyle. Like that's not cool. Girl, you pissing. You know what I mean? Like it was so funny. One time, I love it when fucking Jesus preachers like they take the context in. Like I was walking by 16th and Mission, and I was walking by and the Jesus preacher was like, he's like, "Homosexuality is a sin. Stop sucking dick." And me and my friend looked around like, "Oh, you're talking to us." So, we start doing a cute little vogue, like, "Yeah, mama." You know what I mean? And walk away. Yeah. Oh, God, it was so fucking funny. And the funniest thing about the the Jesus priest outside of the movie theater was like this unhoused woman came up. She was doing like the only fentanyl lean, and she walks up and she's like, "You can take Jesus and shove it up your ass. Look at me. Look what he did to me." It was like the only interaction, and I was like, I'm going to Wicked.
I have a film to see.
Dinner before the show, or show before the dinner.
Right.
That was actually really funny. And then the other funny thing, like, girl, walking the streets of San Francisco was a mess. I was walking into the movie, and there was this homeless woman, unhoused, and she was talking to herself. And you know, like, normally when unhoused people talk to themselves, it's very angry. To like yelling and screaming. This bitch was having the best time, girl. She was just like, "Oh my God, wait, you went where? Girl, stop." I was like, I'm telling you. And I was like, literally, it was like this bitch made friends with every single one of the voices in her head. She went up to them and said, "Hey girls, let's chat."
Oh my God.
It was her, she was so engaged, and everyone kept looking back, not to judge her because we wanted to be a part of her conversation. Right. You know what I mean? Like, she was having so much fun with I've never seen it like that. I've always seen it, it's always been so angry and whatever. That bitch was like, "What, girl? Yeah, girl. I'll see you on Thursday, right, honey? Oh my God, you were so funny." It was the craziest thing. It was cool. It was like, I was like, I mean, hey, if you can't enjoy your psychoses, who is? You know?
Right. Period.
Okay, so let's talk about the fire. That's crazy. The fires are crazy, right, Cameron?
Seriously. Like, I thought that it was going to be like a couple days and they would like contain this, and it's just like on. And then you see just like the like flyovers, and it's just like rubble, you know, and it's like, wow.
I definitely did not ever think that the wildfires would get this close to like civilization. You know what I mean? This close to like major cities. You know what I mean? Like I understood rich neighborhoods maybe out in the sticks, but this is like, I mean, this is literally like across the street from where I would party, or you know what I mean, down the block from, you know, the Hollywood, you know, where people were, and I just never thought that it would, like, the fires would get that close to civilization. Right. But you know what's one funny thing I will say, and obviously to anyone who's experienced you know, the fires or having you know, disaster issues, you know, sending you positive energy. Hope you're getting through it. But one funny thing is that, you know, this is an LA fire because every picture and every video has been so well edited. And they have so many, like, you know what I mean? I've never seen so many well-edited and well-done videos about a house burning. You know what I mean? Like, every YouTube clip is just like, wow, that is a beautiful fire. You know what I mean? Like, it's very LA. It's very LA to filter, you know what I mean, the picture of your house burning. You know what I mean? To make sure it just looks just that right. You know what I mean?
Right in the scene.
Yeah, you see that one where that boy is like, that guy from LA is like no shirt on and the fires are right behind him.
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, I'm gonna send it to you. It's literally this guy no shirt on. He's like, "Oh my God, the fires, they're crazy," and it's like like behind him on the freeway, and he's got no shirt on, a 6-pack. That's so LA.
Wow. So LA.
Right. What's also been crazy about this is like seeing all the vultures swoop in. Like, you've got the people who are like upping the rent prices, you know what I mean? Like, you know, even though there's a law that says you can't do it more than 10%, or like the, you know, people who are trying to go and try to buy the buildings that have been damaged, you know what I mean? So that they can, like, you know, corporations and shit. It's crazy just how many vultures there are surrounding natural disasters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I got anal probe last week.
Well,
right, not the good kind. No, I went to the doctor, everyone, and they were like, "Oh my God, because you have HIV, they have a predilection for anal cancer." First of all, nobody told me when they gave me HIV that I would have you know what I mean, susceptible to anal cancer. They should have told me before they gave. Anyway, right, they should have been in that should have been in the byline. You know what I mean,
in the pamphlet,
right. So anyway, she the bitch had to, like, you know, obviously get my ass, whatever, and 3 swabs, no lube. First of all, you're putting cotton swabs on my ass with no lube, and no, I was not clean. Because why? I didn't know. I don't douche for the doctor. You know it's bad when you douche for the doctor. You know it's bad when she pulls your butt cheeks apart and says, "Oh my!" And I was like, "Well, bitch, hey, I had, you know, she did." But I was like, "Girl, like, no, it's not like they were like, hey, we're gonna do a anal whatever, so be clean." You know what I mean? I didn't know. You're going to the doctor. I was going to, like, just get blood drawn. You know what I mean? Like, right. And she's like, "We're simple. Do you want to do it now?" And I guess I could have been like, "Let me check my butt," you know. But hey, anyway. 3 of those cotton swabs, and then she wanted to use a finger. She used lube, and I was like, "Yes, bitch, you will, because you will. I know you're not gonna try to stick your like unlubed finger in my butt without money, bitch. What the fuck you think this is, girl?" Anyway,
Put the queen on the dresser.
I don't have anal cancer. And with that, let's get the party reviews. And we are back with party review. Sorry, I had to take a drink because I have not dick in my throat, but what is it called when you're in your throat?
Frog.
Frog. Whoa.
Whoa.
Freudian slip. Okay, so party review. So I did Dad at F8. Okay, what can I say about the addition of this party? The music was horrible. It was such bad disco. It was like so slow that, so like, I don't know. Sometimes the party of dad, well, the music will start out slow and then it gets faster. It just never really got faster. Like it was just like slow disco. And like somebody kept asking me like somebody asked me at the party what would be good disco. And I don't know, I couldn't explain it. It was like, I don't know if I can explain good disco, but I know it when I hear it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't recognize a single song. It wasn't really danceable. There was at one point they were playing like jungle sounds with no real backbeat to dance. Then they did this like slow intro to a song that nobody knew. Do you know what I mean? Like it was like these esoteric, like your clientele isn't that old to know, like, you know what I mean? Like the most esoteric disco songs. So it's like, you're not even giving us anything to latch onto. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Okay.
it was just like, and I was just like, I don't know. It's just fundamentally can frustrate me like that. I don't know. And I people keep going to the party because sometimes it's good, but it frustrates me how parties can have such like deviations in good music. You know what I mean? The same party, different DJs, blah blah blah. Like they don't like. I don't know if they don't have a funnel to understand, or maybe we're just not telling them. Do you know what I mean? Like this is not good or whatever. But like compared to some of the other times that I've been, where at least at the end the music was good. It's like this time the music was bad like the whole time.
Yeah, I guess it's like. I haven't really looked to see like, is it always the same? Because I know they have quite a few DJs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They have
so
a
I
lot
don't know
of
if
DJs.
it's like, is it always the same or are they always shuffling it up? And that's what causes these like huge swings between whatever.
But it's just kind of like, girl, like there needs to be some standards with the G. It's like, is your music danceable? You know what I mean? Like, and it's like not danceable as in people do that because you do the same back disco beat. You know what I mean? Like, can you make people dance? It's just because like the music was just, like, people just like shrug because there's just nothing else really that you were giving them.
Yeah.
I will say though that like they really worked on the airflow there. It's much better than it used to be. Like you used to walk in and like it would literally like it'd be like a chemistry class. You'd walk in high on one drug and the heat would change the drug. You know what I mean? You walk in high on acid, on Molly, and it comes out. You come out high on acid. You know what I mean? Like Jesus, right? So at least they worked on that. But yeah. We went to a house party at Powerhouse. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I went to that as well. I thought the music was really good. It was, Joga Throw. So, but I think it's, I was kind of talking with someone and they were like, "Oh, it's not house." I'm like, "No, it's not. It's called house party, but it's not. It's circuit, which, as Ethan would say, it's all under the house umbrella.
Right.
But like, I think, when people see house, they expect they think of like Chicago house or like they don't expect circuit per se. And not saying that anyone was saying anything bad, but it was just I think people these people were people that hadn't been before, so they were.
I think it's because the reference is wrong. Like I think this is back and supposed to reference like a house party at a club. Do you know what I mean? But that reference is so old and dated that people don't even get it. Do you know what I mean? I think people literally think when they think house party, like house music party. But I think based on what the reference is supposed to be, this is supposed to be like a house party. You know what I mean? Like it's the kind of thing.
Got it.
But like it's like that such a dated reference, which speaks very of the kind of datedness of that party anyway.
Yeah.
Like I went in, the music was good, but first of all, $20 for a party at Powerhouse. And then I think it was 25 for other people. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
I think I paid 25.
$25 for a bar that keeps the heat on too long. For any bar. $25 a girl. I was like for a DJ that's playing last season like Golden Girls circuit music. Like if I'm paying $25 to get in, then I want to hear a circuit music that's like, you know what I mean, front and center. $25, and they still had the fucking heat on. Yeah. It's still too fucking hot. They got people falling out, ambulance called. Like I'm so over.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, no, not that night. I'm just saying I'm just saying it's like I've literally, they've had to call like the ambulance at Powerhouse sometimes because people fall out, but like no one turns the heat off. You know what I mean? You don't see you know what I mean? And what gets me about Powerhouse is that some of the parties, I understand you turn the heat on because you want people to get naked, but you can't set a thing when it gets to a certain amount of people, you turn it down or turn it off. Like you don't fucking think like that. You know what I mean? It was like so hot. I left.
Yeah.
I'm paying $25 to be overheated with old circuit music.
It gets above 76 and I'm already tripping. So,
right. Oh my God.
But at least I would say like it seemed like there was a lot of things going on this weekend. Like it seemed thin in a way. But like people were out, but because there was Dad, there was this, then there was Mule,
which I need to go to next so I can do a review.
Yeah, I haven't been to that either, but I heard good things about it. And then there was that gymnasium thing at the Eagle. Some people went to.
Gymnasium.
I guess it's a party somewhere else that maybe it's in L.A.
Gymnasium. The name makes me want to vomit. Gymnasium. Are you kidding me?
It's like
you can go to that party, and I'm not going to a party called Gymnasium. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. The other thing we went to, we Big Top on Sundays. So this is like the first time I think I've been to a full Big Top show on Sunday. So I want to do a review. And I would say that actually I thought the show was really good in general. Like the songs, I used to really, really not like the song choices that they generally pick at Big Top Sundays. I thought they were always really dated, and like it's like none of these people were listening. Like nothing was really contemporary. But I was really pleasantly surprised. Like everything from Megan Thee Stallion to fucking Wicked, which is contemporary now. I think the performances were really, really good. Like Nicki Jizz did an amazing performance of Wicked, and it was like, bitch, I could see how that performance, why she's like a drag, like she gets voted best drag queen. She did so well. But I will say that this is like the hosting, girl. Like the hosting at Big Top, it's just like it's so long, it's so much talking. Sometimes it just seems like the host can come off as like rude. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like shady, and it seems like you're dragging the show out. How many times can you say make some noise and da 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 da? It's just like the hosting kills the show. To be honest, you know what I mean? Like it's just like not as personable as it should be, and if it's not personal, just keep it short. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because if it's not personal, it does. And some of the jokes are just not funny. It's just like, and then they just bringing up all this random shit. Like, I don't know. But I mean, I was happy to see that they're bringing more contemporary music because that's why I complain about that. They had a girl drag queen, which was really cool, and the music after was really good. But it's just like, girl, like people want to dance. You know what I mean? And the show goes on so long. They have like 10 minutes of just talking after the show, after the drag queens perform, and it's like, girl, we want to dance. You know what I mean? We want to hear some good music. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's it for that. Let's see. We have some upcoming events. I've got Roman's Revenge this Friday, everyone. So basically, if you hear my voice, if you hear the sound of my voice, you better be at my motherfucking party on Friday at Bo with DJ Stiletto, the only fucking DJ. Like, I just have nothing to say. You guys know me. You guys know I do good music. You'll see you at Bo on Friday, bitches. It's Martin Luther King Day, so we've got Surge at the Midway with Arnold DM and Nina Flowers, the only circuit party. That's on this Saturday. We've got Hard Reset at the Stud. I love Hard Reset. I love the Stud. It's from 8 to late, so it's a little bit later of a party this time. Next week, we've got Lick It at Powerhouse, the Neon Party to Beat. The schedule's a little light right now, just because, this time of the year is a little light in SF, but it'll pick up. And that's all I got for party reviews. We'll take a break. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. World news. Okay. So first topic, what we know about the Gaza ceasefire deal. Israel and Hamas are thought to be close to agreeing to a ceasefire deal, which could halt the war in Gaza and see the release of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners. Apparently an agreement has been reached in principle, and if all goes well, will be finalized by Israel and Hamas this week. If this happens, it would be the most dramatic breakthrough in this process that has seen multiple times where it seemed like an agreement was in the works, but it fell through. I must say that every other time that I've heard of an agreement or that one side supported it, the other side has kind of put out a statement saying, that's not true, or we're still looking at it. So, but this is the first time where it seems like all three parties, and from that, I mean like the Qataris, who are the mediators, to the Israelis and Hamas leadership, have all publicly said that they like the details of the plan and that they're finalizing it. It's probably the first time that's ever happened, so that's a good sign. The ceasefire deal is hoped to mean the release of the remaining 90 hostages, of which only 60 are believed to be alive, as well as around 1,000 Palestinian prisoners, some of which have been in prison for years. The ceasefire is expected to happen in 3 stages, with the first being a release of 33 hostages. Israeli troops will begin pulling out of populated areas. In the second phase, more hostage releases, and Israel releases prisoners, and then would then allow displaced people to go back to their homes. It's estimated that about 98% of the 2.4 million people in Gaza have been displaced. And then the third phase would involve the reconstruction of Gaza, which would take years. So, of course, any deal is going to be tenuous. I personally believe that, like, I think that they're going to make a deal, but I think that, like, the Israelis are going to continue to, like, fuck with it. Like, they're going to continue to go in there. I know they're still, like, creating a buffer zone around Gaza. But I mean, I'm happy that we're close to getting a deal. What do you think, Cameron?
Yeah, as I kind of read through the article, one of the things that also brought up is like, one, yes, glad we're like getting somewhere. But then it was like, does this all actually though mean an end to the war? Like,
Right.
there's a ceasefire, sure, but
Right.
that doesn't mean like we're saying, okay, we're ending the war,
Right.
you know? But then also, like, we know how things have gone kind of in the past with, or like, as we've seen this play out of like, who knows as if people are released or things are found out or, you know, all that, like someone may have an opinion or a reaction to whatever, like,
Yep.
oh, you only released X amount of, hostages or whatever. Okay, now I'm firing a missile.
Yeah.
And then like it start, you know.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of like what ifs, but glad that seems that we're moving towards something. And I hope that like, this is all like, talks is like, okay, let's sign it, let's finalize it, and like move towards
it. Almost seems like they're people are trying to get it done before Trump, just because I don't know if they're trying to get it done before Trump, but I just think that like I think everyone realizes that Trump is like an ass and is not going to be good for it, and so maybe, you know what I mean, because he's gonna like he's gonna like not be good for the installation process, you know what I mean, for the ceasefire. I think you're right in that it's gonna be a lot of little things that I think like the Israelis and maybe even Hamas are gonna take advantage of to, like, you know what I mean, like probably still do strikes and stuff like that under the auspices of getting Hamas. But I'm glad that we're at a hospital. I mean, we're at a ceasefire deal. I just can't believe that it's taken this long, that like 98% of Gaza is completely destroyed. You know what I mean? Like 2.4 million people, everyone's displaced. I read an article that like that the numbers of the deaths are probably wrong by about 40%. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like the next phase is really going to be about trying to hold Israel accountable as much as possible, because now we need to be able to go in there and actually see what happened and hold them accountable for their war crimes. Because it's crazy to me that like we've allowed this to happen so long. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. Yeah. But I'm happy we're getting to a deal now.
It's crazy. It's what, October of 23.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's almost like a year and a half. Like that's,
and then they've got hostages that have been held for this long. Half of, you know, some of them they don't even know if they're alive. A lot of them they don't even know if they're alive. I don't even know if Hamas knows. You know, I don't think Hamas has a sophisticated enough network to know if every single one of the hostages are alive, because you know they're not in contact. So I think a lot of that's going to be, are these people alive? You know what I mean? Like, and so it's going to be a mess, but at least it's somewhat winding down.
Yeah.
And with that, let's go to American news. And we're back with American news. California prisoner firefighter program draws harsh criticism amid LA wildfires. California's century-old prisoner firefighter program is drawing fresh criticism as hundreds of incarcerated people have been employed to fight the deadly wildfires in the greater Los Angeles area. As of Thursday, 783 incarcerated firefighters are working around the clock to help slow the spread of the massive blazes as part of the Department of Corrections Fire Camp program. Last year, California voters rejected a ballot initiative to ban involuntary labor in prisons and jails, which includes bringing prisoners to fight in wildfires. So let me make this clear. We can force prisoners in the state to work as part of like the wildfire program. Basically, like, you know, we force prisoners to work. If they don't want to work, we can penalize them, right? And we can also say that one of the jobs you have to do is wildfire. So it sounds a lot like indentured servitude, slavery. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and then what's even crazier, right, is that they don't even get any credit for it. They get paid $10 a fucking day. they don't, but none of the money, none of the work that they do actually gets, like, they get credit, like it gets time off served, but they can't use the experience when they get out to become firefighters. You know, there's no program that get them to become firefighters. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like shit experience.
Right.
And they get paid pennies on the dollar. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy to me that we're supposed to be rehabilitating these people. We actually have them doing a job in which they're learning a skill, and then we don't give them the opportunity after that to then do the job. When the whole point of prison and jail is rehabilitation. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fucking crazy to me.
Right.
The program pays like $10 per day with the opportunity to earn more during emergencies. Like, wow, you get hazard pay. You know what I mean? I don't know. What do you think, Cameron?
It's interesting. I'm reading the quote that's in this article. They find it truly rewarding and enriching. It's something they're extremely proud of. Like, I mean, you're probably getting some like rave reviews because, yeah, I get to go outside, but like, you know, I'm, you know, battling a fire.
Right.
Like, you know,
right. They're not getting they're not getting nearly the advanced, you know, they're probably getting shit like stuff, equipment. You know what I mean? They can get hurt. They're getting paid $10 a day. It's amazing that people can feel pride in going out and risking their lives for $10 a day. That to tell you how horrible their life is in prison.
Yeah. And it's like, it says like, in order to be eligible, you have to be deemed physically and mentally fit and have 8 years or less on their sentence and not have convictions like arson or sexual violence. So there's like all this criteria as well to say, which is really interesting that there's like criteria that allows you to
go fight a fire. Like, you can't be a sexual, because I guess if you're a sexual predator, because you can use the firefighting hours to reduce your sentence.
Yeah.
So apparently, but I guess if you're an arsonist, you can't, and if you're a sexual predator, you can't. It's strange. Yeah. But also, it's really strange that like this is one of the most liberal states in the country, and we have like indentured servitude built in, right? Like a 2000 report from American Civil Liberties Union found that prisoners who received little to no pay produce more than $2 billion in goods and commodities. Like, how is this any different than the Uyghur camps that the Chinese have? You know what I mean? In the sense that, like, we know that the laws that we have, the criminal justice laws, are weighted against Black and brown people, and then once we put them in prison, we completely take away their rights, and then we force them to work pennies on the dollar.
Right.
That to me sounds very much like forced concentration labor.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We just wrapped it up in a pretty bow and called them convicts. Anyway, let's go to break. And we're back with local news. SF is a mess, kind of, right? Like, let me get you on this one. So, Latinx Democratic Club president returns after a sexual assault inquiry. So the Latinx Democratic Club announced today that Kevin Ortiz is back as its president after an internal investigation did not support the allegations of sexual assault that were reported by the San Francisco Chronicle last summer. So Latinx Democratic Club, obviously, you know, Democratic leaning, you know, Latin club, you know what I mean, had Kevin Ortiz, who served at his head until early January, where he resigned after a former aide and a second anonymous woman went public with sexual assault allegations. In a statement released Monday morning, the club said its special investigation committee is composed of 4 club members and 3 experts from an unnamed sexual violence prevention organization found no evidence of wrongdoing. The investigation did not include one woman's testimony as she decided not to participate in the club's inquiry. The woman said that she felt the investigation was biased and would trivialize her experience, which is why she declined to participate. There was a second woman who submitted allegations who said she wasn't even contacted by the inquiry and she didn't even know about it. So this is an interesting one. Like, and I included it because I feel like, yeah, you know, like I could see an organization reinstating someone after they did an internal inquiry and found no evidence of wrongdoing. But when you look at the type of inquiry, like, first of all, the inquiry, like they didn't talk to one woman because one woman refused to be part of the inquiry, and then they didn't talk to the other woman because they didn't call her. So the inquiry doesn't actually even have any witness statements in it. You know what I mean? So it's like, what point of view is the inquiry even talking? You know what I mean? Like, all it has is David Ortiz, who worked with them. They haven't talked to any of the witness statements, so they don't have their point of view. So what exactly happened in this inquiry? You know what I mean? Like, how do you have a full inquiry if you don't even talk to the witnesses?
Yeah.
Like, how do you even say that you were able to have an investigation if you haven't talked to you know what I mean? Like you didn't talk to two of the people who said that they harassed him, but you said your investigation concluded there were no issues. How is that considered a full investigation if you haven't even included the witnesses? Do you know what I mean? Like, and their point of view and then follow and go, like, it doesn't, what happened in this investigation?
Right. And yeah, I read in here, she's like, the second woman anonymously said, they didn't make an effort to reach out to me despite knowing her identity.
And her name, yeah.
They didn't hear from me. And
I
she didn't know an investigation was underway.
So, like, yeah, you know what I mean? You have an inquiry, and then you're not even going to contact the woman, one of the women who did it.
Who
then
made the
right, made the complaint. And then they're also not releasing any of the names of the people from the organization who were on the panel. And they're not even releasing the name of this organization that's supposed to be helping them, you know what I mean, do the investigation. Why wouldn't you release the name of that organization? Isn't the point to release the name of that organization so that we can verify that it's a, you know what I mean, so it's a stand-up organization that you know what I mean? But like, what is the secrecy? You know what I mean? Like you did a secret audit that no one can see, that you don't know the members of, and they found that there were no issues, but that audit didn't actually talk to any witnesses, and we don't know what organization you're using to verify.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's kind of like, we looked into it and everything's good. Just trust us.
Yeah, just trust us. Yeah, just trust us. Everything. Yeah, like.
And then people are like, "Wait,
right?
No one talked to me.
Right? No one talked. You didn't talk to any of the witnesses. How can you have an investigation and inquiry without talking to the witnesses and then conclude it? Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Case solved.
Case solved. Right? Like, come on, girl. SF, do better. Let's go to pop culture news. And we're back with pop culture news. Who is Drew Pinsky? A doctor responds to YouTube taking down his videos for spreading anti-vax information. Do you remember Dr. Drew, Cameron?
So I had to do a little bit of looking, but yes, I do remember Dr. Drew.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't, Dr. Drew is like, I mean, it's like very nostalgic, like back like early millennium, Love Line, right? People would call in late at night and they would talk about their sexual problems, and it was like he was a doctor and he had a comedian, Adam or something like that, and they would like talk about it. But it was like back in the day, like, you know, the early millennium, like we didn't talk about sex nearly as openly as we did now. Yeah. And so it was like people were talking about their sexual problems or like, you know, things like, you know what I mean? And he would like give good time, you know, like advice from a doctor. And it was like advice that you would get from a doctor when you maybe were afraid to talk to your real doctor. Right, you know what I mean? Right. So yeah. Dr. Drew was cool. Like he was on a lot of shows. And so I wanted to highlight it because basically it's just like interesting how people can fall down the vaccine skeptic kind of like, you know, hole. So in this one, like he had 2 videos taken off YouTube recently for spreading anti-vax information. In one video, and then he like Dr. Drew like, you know, came back and said, why would they do that? But in one video, he's having conversations with people talking about vaccine side effects, saying that a lot of young people were suffering from vaccine side effects, mainly young people, etc. Like that's it. You know what I mean? Like it's like, you know, like the video got taken off because it was just, oh yeah, a lot of people are suffering from side effects. What does that even mean? Do you know what I mean? No data, no whatever. And then he had a second video where a lawyer was talking about, you know, the side effects of the vaccine on whatever. And it was just like basically and he's trying to, you know, describe it as these are just like people talking about medical theories, but it was basically just people talking and then with no citing, no references, citing no numbers. And then when you ask them, it's a personal story. Oh, my friend, you know, died or almost died because of a vaccine, whatever. So I just wanted to talk about it because I just think like in the era of misinformation and disinformation, it's sad when we see, but we also need to recognize how people will try to use these kind of like older stars, you know what I mean? These older people that we would go to for advice, like Dr. Drew, to spread disinformation and misinformation.
Yeah, and I was kind of like reading here is like, I don't quite agree with the legs that he's trying to stand under. Like the quote is saying something like, oh, a vast majority of people who were under the age of 50 who had like zero risk of COVID, and then they all got COVID, but they would have been, if you just left these people alone, they would have been just fine. And like, no, that's not like how it works. And he's trying to say like, well, that's my opinion.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, well, sure. But it's also like, that is misinformation because that's not how it works. So it's like, I think it's interesting sometimes to see these, like people get checked when they they don't expect to. But also like, you need to cite your sort, check to make sure.
So for those people out there, like when you're listening to people rant, because that's I mean, hello, me. But like, and when people are ranting, like, make sure that you're checking their sources. Make sure that like they're saying when they're then the wellness initiative will say 80% of people don't like this. Who's the study? Where's the study? You know what I mean? Like who cited the study? Who's approved it? Because it's just that's how disinformation spreads very quickly, and that's I think the biggest thing in our time we have to focus on is how quickly we need to, we can determine that this is not right, not real, and keep it from spreading. You know what I mean? And keep it from infecting us with these, wrong things. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. And we are done with our show, everyone. Or not done with our show. We're done with the first news half. The first half. Hope you guys enjoyed the news recap. Stay tuned after the break for our second interview with Baby Shaques Munro. It was really, really fun. Next week, we are dropping our panel on being gay in corporate America. Also, please check out our Discord server. The link is in the show notes. See you in a week. Remember to listen, rate, and share. Please tell your friends and spread the word. Also, remember to set a reminder so you'll get a notice when I post new shows. Send me any feedback, questions, or comments personally on IG. It is WHENNROME. And until next time, keep it sassy, San Francisco.
Bye.
Thanks, Cameron. I love you.
Mwah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It is I, Roman. Hola. Am I supposed to be looking in the camera? Are you supposed to look at the camera, these motherfuckers? Like, hey, motherfuckers, here I am. And we are back this is our second visual interview. We have Baby Shaques Munro, the illustrious, the amazing, the only Thembi, you know what I mean? With the only Beyonce moment. Like before this started, this motherfucker was like, hey, can I just get a little fan moment here? And then literally it's been on. He's like, oh, whoa, I love it. Been singing the Cowboy Carter, like just randomly singing Cowboy Carter. Like, I love it. I love it. Did your boyfriend also fuck 14-year-old women? Never mind. Let's not even get there before we get canceled. And we are here with Roman's wedded robe and my interview with Baby Shaques. Thank you for being here, baby.
Thank you so much for having me again.
Yes. This has been fun. This is going to be fun. So let's get started with your interview. So you moved here, you're from the East Bay and you're from Brentwood.
Correct.
And Brentwood is a mess.
Okay, first of all.
Like the reason I know is because we did an article about a black woman getting her face eaten off by her scalp, getting scalped by a dog and a police dog, and it happened in Brentwood, and you were here and you're like, oh my God, I'm from there. And I'm looking at you like, what is going on in Brentwood, baby?
Brentwood is a farm town. And because it had space and it's between the Central Valley and San Francisco, it has exploded.
Okay.
So all I remember about Brentwood was cherries, which they're really famous for. Go pick cherries sometimes. And corn.
Racism.
Okay.
I mean, let's
no,
just say
you
that.
pay to pick these cherries. It's very different.
Oh shit! Now that's slavery. Different. Get a little, you know what I mean. One's a little bit more, but you know what I'm talking about, or do you, Brentwood? Go ahead. Cherries
and corn.
Okay.
And it's.
I don't even like the way you said corn now. I mean, everything coming out your mouth going to be racist for the next 5 minutes, Brentwood. Shit. Okay. So you're from Brentwood. Okay.
Yes.
Tell me about growing up there. Tell me about your family.
It's very interesting. So a lot of people ask me about like my ethnicity or my ethnic makeup.
Okay.
And my parents did meet in Brentwood, but my mother is from Los Angeles and by way of El Paso, Texas. So we're Comanche on my mother's side.
Oh, so I was like, when are you going to get to the ethnic mix?
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a fuck that
and
you're
then
from
my
LA.
dad is a very I'm not 100% sure why everyone congregated in or why they found each other in Brentwood. There's just farming, but when you go back into like what were my parents' families doing, they weren't farmers.
Right.
But anyways, my dad.
What were they doing?
Well,
she don't want to say nothing because
no, my dad was a diesel truck driver.
Oh, okay.
So my dad was a diesel truck driver, and his dad was.
Okay.
And I think they were the first ones to be in Brentwood. Otherwise, everyone was from like Oklahoma.
So, I mean, that's kind of like farming. Like someone had to transport the shit. You know what I mean? So,
Okay, so what I remember is that my dad's dad was a diesel truck driver for the Army, and there's a military base in Concord.
okay.
That's all I know.
That's all you probably know.
I mean, he might have been shipping, I don't know, bread. I have no idea.
when was this? What?
I imagine the 50s.
Shipping Chinese people.
Okay.
Okay. You know,
Whoopsies.
hello, the Japanese and
Hello.
girl. This is the military in the 50s, girl. They probably shipping black people off white lands. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. This was in Brentwood. They needed people to work the farm. I don't know. But my mother's father, like her mother worked at a glass factory that is now closed. It's in Antioch. And her father worked at a fiber, or the shit our walls are made out of.
The asbestos?
Stucco or whatever the
Stucco.
sheetrock.
You bougie. The shit are made of walls out of made of
sheetrock.
stucco. Whose walls are made out of stucco?
I watched too many HGTV shows.
Yeah, girl. This is not Urban Outfitters. Okay, so tell me about, you have 11 siblings?
I do. So
you have 12. So you're a 12 people?
of 12. Yeah.
That is a lot of children.
My mother and father
Got busy.
were very bored, apparently.
Ooh.
They have 10 biological children,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 of the family members were adopted when they were newborn, and they're my mother's sister's kids. So it's still like all in the family, but yes, 12 kids.
Come on, big love. That's a lot of fucking people.
There's a lot.
What is it like to have that many siblings?
It's sad.
Oh.
Yeah. I think people believe that when you have like a million siblings that you must have these like rad gatherings and shit. And I'm like, no, the oldest one is 51 and the youngest one is like in her 20s. So massive span in age. And at some point you can't really keep up with all their lives. And I actually don't really talk to any of them. Womp womp.
I mean, but like some brothers and sisters are like that. You guys probably also spend so much time together that you just don't want to be around. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
It was a lot. And okay, so my she had my first sibling. She was born when my mother just turned 16. So most of my mother's life has been with children, having children. And the same for my dad. He was like 18 or something. But come on, Jay-Z.
Right? And Beyonce. I like whales.
So there's always like this underlying thing where it's like, well, I was treated bad as a child, like my older siblings. And I think and that starts like a divide amongst the group. Everyone kind of like creates their version of the story or at what age they are and blah, blah, blah. And then as I get older, I look at it and I go, actually, she was a 16-year-old trying to do the best she could with kids. Should she have had kids? Probably not.
Should she have kept having kids?
Nope. I'm going to say no. I'm going to hard no. But we can't change that. And it is what it is. And it's not to diminish someone's like bad experience, but I think it just really tears the family apart. And so I'm like, I don't have time for that shit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. I mean,
I had therapy.
Right, girl. Right. And there's only one of us in that. Thank you. So did your parents know you were gay? Like, what was your come out story like?
I got to show you this picture. Okay. So first of all, they say no, but there's a picture that they had of me on a Polaroid and I'm wearing my mom's high heels and I'm like running out the door.
The Polaroid, girl, you still damn old. You know, that shit was probably on a stencil. You know what I mean? It was probably written on papyrus. You know what I mean? Come on, was it?
But I want you to see like, okay, so this is me as a newborn or like I don't know if y'all can see this or not.
The heavy tuck.
She had a meaty tuck. I need you to see. This is the one where I was like, yeah, I was gay.
yeah, girl.
Gay.
Yeah. Oh, the only lady. Hey, Judy. Hey, Judy. Right. Look like Liza in that.
So, you know, growing up, super religious, of course. There's always like a religious undertone too, for some reason.
For 10 kids, it have to be. Only Jesus tells you to have 10 kids. Do you know what I mean? Because the feminist mystique is not telling you to pop out 10 kids, girl. You know what I mean? Only a man is going to tell a woman to have 10 children.
So, you know, like growing up, and I was like, you know, I can be straight. So I dated girls. And I even had like a girlfriend once where after I came out, she was like, but like we made out like, what do you mean you're gay? Like she just didn't like
It was that moment,
register.
yeah.
And it was like, I can't get out of this guilt, you guys. I just can't leave it, no matter what I'm upsetting someone.
And I was like, girl, you knew that I was gay when we made out because I made out just like you. You know what I mean? With that little soft little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It wasn't us learning the dance routine to bring it on that didn't clue.
Right.
So when I came out to my dad, I was 18, and my parents had separated at that point, and he was like, he's this like, he's 350 pounds, like big guy, and he's like, well, Brandon, I'm really worried about how people will treat you, and that I can't be there to protect you. In all my childhood, that was the first time I ever heard him say anything like that. I was perplexed. And grateful. I don't know what I expected. What was he going to be like? Leave. I'm 18, whatever.
Well, you're also dramatic, so you don't know what to expect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're a little scared. Like, whoa.
I come out to my mom. I take her to dinner. My dad, I just like rolled up into the driveway and I was like, hey, I'm gay.
Yeah, right. You're right. Hey, I suck dick. But he, come on now.
But my mom, I took her out to dinner, and she was like, I can't remember how I said it. I was like, you know how like, my brothers would always be like, oh, you're a faggot and beat me up and, all those fun things. They're true.
Yeah.
And she didn't allude to like, oh, I always had an idea or something like that. The only thing she said to me was, I love you. If you have one of those gay weddings, don't invite me.
Oh. So not as
very weird.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm surprised she wasn't like, wait, so which one are you again?
Yeah. Right.
You're number 2? Who? Let me check my
Carry the one.
I was talking to number 1.
My older siblings, when I told them, because of course it like immediately went through the family, they were like, duh, we've knew you were gay forever. Like the whole time.
Right. You were wearing my dresses. And
we were just waiting for you to say something.
Yeah.
And I think the only thing I could think about was like, well, why didn't you say something to me?
They did. They called you faggot.
I know. That's true. And beat me up about it.
Yeah. But I mean, because.
And that's the end of the episode. Bye.
Because you know that that I feel like that seems to work in the movies, but like, imagine them sitting you down like, hey, I know you're gay. You would have been like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Leave me alone. You know what I mean? At least that's what I would have been like. Because people told me that I was gay when I was in high school, and I was too afraid to admit it. You know what I mean? Like, and these were people that were like, not even my friends, but other people, because it was like I didn't want to say it and I didn't know it to myself. So I don't know if I would have appreciated it quite. Maybe you might not have appreciated being a young, in the closet gay man if they had just been like, yo, I know you suck dick. Just admit it. Little bro. You would have like, excuse me? No, I don't. I just made out with my girlfriend. Okay, and she wants more.
We're going to the movies to watch ever after. Later.
Bring it on, sisters.
Okay, so one weird thing is, so I grew up in Brentwood, right? Yeah. When I was 11 or so, we moved to Dixon. But all of our family remained in Brentwood. If anyone knows where Dixon is, it's just on the Highway 80. It's south of Sacramento.
Probably know people of color.
All in the same area. Near Vacaville. Anyway.
Oh, Mexicans know that.
Okay. We had neighbors there, lesbians.
Okay.
But they were very closeted.
They lived in Vacaville, and this was in the 50s. Of course they were closeted.
Okay, first of all, this was in the 2000s. Go to hell.
Oh, sorry. I thought we were still back in the black and white era. No. You know what I mean? I was giving Lucille Ball still in the okay, 2000s.
They never said they were lesbian, ever. They were so good. One is a professor at UC Davis. The other one is a bus driver.
Okay. A bus driver?
Listen. And they never said they were lesbians.
Okay.
And I used to babysit their cats, and they had separate rooms. They weren't separate rooms, but they're like, this is Jean's room, and this is like the other room.
Cats.
Right. They were their neighbors, direct neighbors.
Yeah.
They sat me down once, and they were like, I was like maybe like 15.
Yeah.
And they were like, you need to go to college.
To get out of this area.
Yeah. They were like, just go. You're going to meet so many people like you.
Yeah.
That's all they kept saying. In hindsight, I'm like, okay, they were like, gay.
Yeah, that was them.
Protect the little gay.
Yeah, but you were like, oh my God, they knew I was an artist. And so they just were like, wow. Like,
I'm an artist.
I love fashion. That's why they wanted me to get out of that town. All right, girl. Not that you were already wearing your sister's dress, and you're like, oh, this thing. I thought it was. Yeah, right. That's okay. So then when did you move to SF?
I moved to San Francisco, I think in 2008 or 9, somewhere around there.
Okay, so when we come back, because we're gonna go to break, we're gonna talk about why you moved to SF and when you started putting on women's clothes for real.
Oh, okay.
For money.
Great, for money.
For money.
That's the best part.
And we'll be back. All right, we're back, everyone. And we did our only enhancements. I had tea. Sorry, I had Earl Grey tea. Sorry, this is San Francisco. You can't say tea without, triggering half the city. You know what I mean? I'm probably getting hit up right now on Snippy, like, Roman, what did you mean? Girl, Snippies. If you want Snippies right now, every other person that hits you up is like partying with a capital T. You know, it's like if let me say this out loud to anybody. If anyone asks you to try something new, you know what I mean, or ask you for your permission to do a drug, it's Tina. Do you know what I mean? Because they'll have a new way of saying it, like poofing or you know what I mean? Do you do dumby? Are you a dumbying? Like, what is that? Tina, girl. You know what I mean? If they're asking your permission to do a drug, it's Tina. I'm sorry, I'm saying that out as a PSA. Anyway, so let's get back to so you moved to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And when did you start doing drag?
I started doing drag really quickly. I think 2010 was the first time.
So you moved into the city, and then here's the question: what was the first drag performance that you saw that made you want to start doing drag?
A fundraising event at a bar called Marlena's in Hayes Valley.
God. Yeah. What was your life like when you first came to SF? You're going to a bar called Marlena's in Hayes Valley, a fundraising event. We live different lifestyles in SF. Jesus, you was come the fundraising circle. Woo! That's probably kicking.
So the reason why I moved to San Francisco, first of all, I always wanted to move here. Mm-hmm. My family couldn't really come out here very often. It was expensive, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, and there's 8,000 kids to travel around with. But the couple times we did, you have to go over the Bay Bridge. Yeah. And I always thought it was an island. Mm-hmm. Like, no joke. I thought San Francisco was like this magical island. And I knew...
We're not an island?
Or peninsula.
Huh?
The peninsula.
Oh, yeah.
That's geography 101.
Yeah, woo!
So I just thought it was like this fantasy place, and I knew I needed to go to the big city. Mm-hmm. I moved here because I was going to school.
Okay.
I was at the Art Institute for fashion design.
Okay, fashion.
And Franklin and Eddie was where the apartment was, and so Marlena's was just right down Franklin Street.
Why? Let's high level it. I don't give a fuck where it was. Let's just talk about it. We're getting into the details.
I'm telling
me the name of the street where this club was. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Marlena's. Okay, well, who was the drag queen you saw at the club?
Marlena's bar. Fuck off. Was an incredible gay little haven.
Okay.
In Hayes Valley. It's closed now. It's called Brass Tacks, if you're ever in that area. But Marlena was the patron of it, the drag queen. She's one of the empresses, raised bazillions of dollars for the city, blah, blah, blah. I don't know that. I was just literally like, this is I think iPhones just came out kind of thing, right?
Damn, okay.
I didn't think even had an iPhone at that point.
Right.
And so I'm like looking on MapQuest. Yes. I'm like gay bar.
Come on, MapQuest. I remember that. You had to print the page out.
Correct.
Oh my God.
So that's why I was there. I walk in there, it's like a Saturday, and it's packed. I get a margarita, and a drag queen comes up and says, we're raising funds for blah, 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 blah thing. Mm-hmm. Do you got a couple bucks? And
you're like, no, bitch, I'm young and I just got to the city. Do you have a couple bucks?
It might have been maybe the second time I'd ever seen a drag queen that close, with the mic. And I'm like, okay, of course. And I just was sucked into what they were doing and how everyone was watching them. And all they were doing was just raising money and cracking jokes and being stupid. Her name was Vanilla Shakes.
Okay.
She doesn't do drag here anymore. Okay. But that from that point forward, I think later, the event ended, people left, and I was like talking to her, and I was like, I want to do drag.
Had you not seen drag before?
I had never seen drag. No, actually, I'd only ever seen drag as like a worn experience. I'm wearing this and I'm out.
Okay,
I was never in bars. I didn't see shows and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So you saw your first drag and you're like, I want to do that. And then you just started. How did you start?
That's it. She goes, well, I don't want any drag kids. And I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Right.
But can you teach me how to do drag?
Right.
And she's like, sure. This is show up here. We're going to put you in a face and we're going to do fundraising.
Okay.
And that's it.
And then how long ago was that?
15 years ago.
15 years. All right. So then you had to like start like, but you were a fashion designer, so I mean it kind of lended well to from a costume standpoint and all that kind of stuff, right?
It was a way for me to kind of express like an outlet for what I could do creatively. Wasn't much. I was a size 12 in a dress. Now I'm like a size 20. So
You're wearing black. You look like a size 12 from me.
but like I had more time. I wasn't gainfully employed.
Right,
so I was able to focus. I did make costumes for myself, for other people. It was really, really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you are Munro, so that means you're a drag queen with big hands. I've talked about like make fun of the Munro hands because they all have huge hands, and I actually have nightmares about being attacked by like these huge man Munro hands. And so
You're welcome.
You're welcome. When did that start?
Hamburger Mary's.
Okay.
When it reopened in the Castro, I started performing there. And Mercedes, maybe in like 2013, did my makeup once.
Okay.
So I met her then.
Okay.
And years later, now we're doing shows at Hamburger Mary's. I'm sitting in the back and I had this idea that I wanted to run for the Empress of San Francisco. And I was like floating it past her. And she was like, huh. And I don't know where it came from. You'd have to ask her the reasoning behind it. But like the next show we did, she was like, hey, we don't really do this very often. A lie.
Yeah, wait. They don't really have kids. Yeah, like hey, I was like 85 children. You're part of a select group. Okay.
She said, would you like to be part of the Munro family? I think you're fierce. And I said, sure, I think that would be amazing.
I mean, you are fierce. I've definitely seen you before.
I try.
You're great. You do like really good songs. Like the first time I see you do like a rap, but I'm like, okay, bitch, okay. I do like know all the words. I was like, this bitch, okay, all right. It was like Lil Kim or something crazy, and it was like, and your little smiley face, like, right, doing Lil Kim. I say yes, bitch. Okay, so who was your favorite drag star?
My favorite drag star, I legally should say Mercedes Munro, my mother. She is a star. And I never realized it. She is like a full-blown star across the country.
Or just your favorite drag?
I don't know. I liked people like Nina Flowers.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like really fucking edgy, like crazy intense makeup and like...
You want to hear a funny story about that? I was like, wow.
I would love to know.
Nita Flowers. I was walking in a circle party and I had something on and I hear somebody walk by like, bitch, was that Nita Flowers? And they thought it was me because I had something on. And I was like, girl, like, okay.
Bro,
but that's not.
She got a spray tan.
Not the first time someone has asked me, oh, do you do drag? Like, what's like, are you performing here tonight?
There's like, fuck. There are like Cassandra Cass, what is someone I think is a fucking superstar. Incredible the way she moves her body. Do you remember her? Did you ever meet her? Bianca Simone, I think is a
Bianca
fucking
Simone.
superstar.
Yeah.
Again, someone I didn't realize was so popular because I just knew her. We were just kiki ha ha la la la. And then social media and drag and the social media was converging around that time. And I was like, oh shit, she's famous.
Like, famous and like she's got houses and like, different areas. Like I didn't even know you could have like I'm the West Coast mother or the East Coast. Yeah, with the East Coast clan. I'm like, okay, bitch, did you kill Tupac? So do your parents know about your drag? What do they think?
Yeah. So my mother knows about it, but she's never like seen it. Also, I don't really talk to her. Excuse me. My father, excuse me, I'm drinking a fizzy drink. My father knows about it, and there was a time remember when everyone had merch? I had merch, and he bought a sweatshirt with Baby Shaques on the thing, and he had a picture taken, and he sent it to me, and I think that was really, really cool. I've never seen a show or I don't think he would come back to San Francisco, but he loved the hippie and the dippiness.
I mean, I think that's a really cool statement in and of itself, wearing the shirt. You know what I mean? Just like a picture. I mean,
yeah, but he voted for Trump. So,
I mean, there's one step forward, two steps back. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of white people
like
of your
cat.
friends whose friends voted for Trump. So let's talk Monroe's at Midnight.
Monroe's and Midnight Sun.
Monroe's and Midnight Sun, for those who don't know, it was like the only fucking drag show of Monroe's and Midnight Sun. It was like, how long did it go on?
She says 10 years.
That seems a little long, right? Because I was like,
I think it's right because the pandemic fucked all of our brains up on the timing of things.
Yeah.
But it seems about right. But like 2014 or 15 is when it started.
But then I couldn't have been there at the beginning because I didn't live here in 2014. So I was like,
correct.
So, but I thought I was there for the first one, but maybe I wasn't.
No,
I wasn't.
I don't think so.
I don't think I was there for the first one. That's me thinking I was more important than I was. You know what I mean? I started this. Girl, you came on season 3.
I wasn't.
Who do you think you are? Jen?
I wasn't part of the original cast. It was Ruby and Paju and Mercedes.
I remember that.
And then Paju stepped down.
I remember that.
And they invited me to take her spot. That was 2018.
Right.
Yeah.
So they were going for 4 years before that happened?
They had been going for a few years prior to that.
I think it was like 2 years. I think Mercedes Monroe.
Listen, you should
smoking the vapors or the vapors from all that makeup. You know what I mean? That Monroe makeup.
We love her.
I don't think she's not losing a couple marbles, but just making up shit. She's like Donald Trump. Y'all just like the whole family like, oh, it's fine, Trump.
27 years.
Right.
Doing the show since
shaking
the bar
and
opened.
ballsy and shit.
It did run for a while.
Huh?
It did run for a while.
Where do you perform now?
I actually have only been doing like corporate stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I do a lot of stuff for beep, can't say. And then like marketing stuff for Gap Incorporated.
Okay.
And
so you do like, what is that? Like you do like, so that like, I feel like a lot of drag queens did that, like transitioned into like doing corporate stuff during the pandemic. You know what I mean? Was that kind of what happened? Or were you always kind of doing drag corporate?
It helped. The pandemic helped because drag was so big on social media. So then when you think about I'm trying to get a group of people together on a Zoom platform, social media was an easy access and video of drag was easy too. So that was like, I was doing stuff for like the barristers associations, like lawyers and like, like a bank, First Republic and stuff. Like it was coming left and right. It was amazing. And it just kind of went from there. And like host events, like I've gone to like Las Vegas and helped MC stuff. Like it's fun. It's cool. It's different. But I'm taking a break because I'm working on some new things.
Oh, you're working on some new things.
And working on some things.
Okay. So let's talk about, because after the break we're gonna like move on to some of your non-drag stuff. Let's talk about what did you like most about like Monroe's at Midnight? Monroe's at Midnight stuff. So.
Honestly, one of the things I love the most about Monroe's and Midnight Sun was you, which is why I continued to harass you and why the whole family loved interacting with you. It was a breath of fresh air to be able to be like, hey, it's serious. Also, it's very not serious. You know, like it's not. Calm the fuck down.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
And you personally had a vibe that came in that you were like, I'm just here to fuck around and sit and watch a show.
Yeah, right.
And whatever.
Right.
So it was like, people like you. Of course, the bartenders were incredible at night. Always that night crew. They were just, I don't know, they just looked so happy to see us there. And we always had a huge crowd, which was weird.
Because it was a fucking Monday.
It was a fucking Monday.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was tired as shit every fucking Monday because I still be working on Tuesday morning at 7 a.m.
Right.
But it was just, I don't know, we did it for the love. It was
that was
really
when I used to go out every fucking night. And I don't know, now I'm like, girl, I'm like an ogre on Monday. Like, you know what I mean? But I used to be like, whoa. And I remember one time you were like, like after I stopped going on Mondays, you're like, oh my God, I miss you. And I was like, girl, I have to sleep. Okay? I need a break. I am not a machine. That was so funny.
There's a lot of legendary stuff that went through Midnight Sun. So it's great to be part of it.
Yep.
But nothing should last forever.
Thank God. Okay, then speaking of that, we're going to take a break. So this segment doesn't last forever. Actually, no, we are not going to take a break. This is actually the end of segment 1. Oh my God. So yeah, because we're going to stop and pretend like, we waited till the 2 weeks and we're going to record segment 2. So thank you for being here. Thank you. This has been great. And the part 1.
Tune in.
I'm tune in for part 2. Baby Shaques Munro is everything. This has been Whennrome. Remember, my IG is WHENNROME. And until then, keep it sassy, San Francisco. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
That I don't know all the words.
I don't know all the words. I'm actually surprised I remembered that whole fucking word right there. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, I don't remember. Yeah.